Beep the Beaver and the Solar Dam. Beep was not your average beaver. While most of his friends were busy chomping on logs or perfecting their dam building skills with mud and sticks, Beep had something else on his mind. Technology. His little den was filled with blinking lights, humming machines, and wires that wrapped around tree branches like ivy. He even wore tiny round goggles made from cracked acorns and shiny quartz lenses. The other animals just shook their heads and called him Techtail, but Beep didn't mind. He had a vision. He wanted to build the world's first solar-powered dam. A dazzling self-operating marvel that didn't need logs, didn't block fish, and would run entirely on sunlight. No more muddy paws, Beep declared. No more chopped trees, just clean energy and clever code. He designed solar petals that followed the sun like sunflower heads. He coded tiny, leaf-like panels to open and close depending on cloud cover. And at the center of it all stood a sparkling, glassy tower he called Sunspire, which converted sunlight into energy to open and close special water gates with precise timing. When it was finally finished, animals from all corners of the forest gathered to see it. Birds circled curiously overhead. Frogs and foxes peeked out from bushes. Even old Grumbly Bear, who rarely left his cave, shuffled down to the river. Beep stood proudly in front of his creation. "Ladies and gentle creatures," he squeaked, "welcome to the future." With a dramatic beep from his acorn remote, the solar dam whirred to life. Gates opened smoothly. Water flowed in tidy streams. The sunspire sparkled like a diamond in the morning light. The crowd erupted in cheers. Even the skeptics clapped their paws and wings. For the first few days, everything worked perfectly. The dam adjusted itself to the weather, saved water during dry hours, and released gentle waves when it rained too much. Beep strutted along the shore, receiving praise and paw shakes. But then the clouds came. A gloomy week rolled in, covering the forest in fog and shade. Beep's solar panels, hungry for sunlight, began to twitch and struggle. Without enough energy, the water gates stopped responding. Some wouldn't open, others wouldn't close. A strange humming began vibrating from Sunspire's base. Beep fiddled with his circuits. "Just a hiccup," he muttered. But by the next day, the dam began holding back more water than it should. The river, once calm and clear, swelled and darkened. Frogs' homes flooded. Ant colonies on the riverbank had to scramble for higher ground. Even the fish looked annoyed, flapping at the now still waterfall. "Beep, do something," shouted Dotty the deer. I just need a little more time," he called back, frantically spinning a wrench made of pine bark. That night, the solar dam overloaded. Sparks flew from the sunspire. One by one, the gates snapped open at once with a thunderous crack. The river, no longer held back, burst forth in a rush of muddy water. It roared through the forest, sweeping up sticks, nuts, and anyone too slow to move. Beep barely made it to a branch in time as the flood whooshed beneath him. When the water finally calmed down, the forest was a mess. Fallen nests, soggy dens, flattened bushes. The solar dam was broken, leaning to one side, its shiny petals drooping like wet leaves. The next morning, Beep sat on the riverbank. His goggles cracked, his whiskers drooping. "I just wanted to help," he whispered to no one. Grumbly Bear waddled over and sat beside him. "You've got a good brain, kid," he rumbled. "But the forest doesn't run on code. It runs on balance." Beep blinked. "Balance?" Grumbly nodded. "Sun and rain, logs and tech. It's not about replacing nature. It's about working with it." Over the next few weeks, Beep began rebuilding. But this time, he did it differently. He invited the birds to help with aerial views. He asked the frogs how much water they needed. He listened to the trees, literally. He invented tiny wooden listening buds that picked up the sounds of the wind, helping him understand which trees needed more space and which logs were already dead and ready to use. The new dam was a hybrid, part traditional, part solar. It had logs for strength, solar petals for gentle gate control, and even vines that helped regulate moisture by soaking up overflow. It wasn't shiny or flashy, but it worked, and it flowed with the rhythm of the forest, not against it. The forest healed, the fish returned, the frogs sang again, and Beep became the forest's very first eco-inventor.